and gentlemen, welcome back to the continued coverage of the grand final of Fortnite Summer Skirmish. My name is Jack Courage Delnop, and I'm joined by none other than the wonderful Dr. Lupo. We have played 4 of our 6 games, and so far, things have been crazy.
We've seen some insanity, Jack, and we got 2 games left. It's not even close to done yet.
Yes.
$1.5 million on the line. Players starting to establish pretty significant leads in terms of points, even eliminations. We've seen aggressive gameplay. We've seen people playing very secure. We've seen, honestly, some of the fastest edits and replacements of materials to just make windows and take shots at people that I've ever seen.
Yep.
The number of players that we've seen people flying now, which is insanity. And I mean, this is Fortnite. This is one of the things that drives excitement for a lot of players is just how aggressive people can play a game that is so open to so many players. I feel like everybody plays it.
No,
everybody plays it.
For sure. Everyone knows what it is. Everyone plays it now. It's a quick update for you all at home. I know that last game was absolutely crazy from top to bottom. We have some a little message to share. So, all Fortnite competitions are played on a live server environment. Players' last game were in an anti-gravity zone. The anti-gravity zones have been disabled for the rest of the competition today. So in games 5 and 6, we won't be flying around nearly as much.
It was exciting to watch, don't get me wrong, and we both kind of didn't know what you threw a card in the air. And
no one got hit by it.
Exactly, no one, not even remotely. You can't prove it, it's not anywhere on the internet. But for the following 2 games, the last 2, game 5, game 6, that stuff, like you said, it's off.
On the ground.
Jack, you'd said before, stick around till after the break for the standings. Well, guess what? We've got them.
Boom.
Let's take a look.
Let's see where we stack up after 4 games. 4 Goffs in that beautiful top spot. 12 limbs, 8 points, feeling darn good. Tendon's last game, though, with the limbs, which was nuts, and then you see Liquid Poach actually moving to that 4th spot.
Now, Morgas, like you said, the leader there with 8 points, but there's a number of players very close on his tail. We have a ton of people here with 3 or more, even 2. Boyer down there in the 16th slot. A lot of high elimination. We already have multiple players, 4 players with double-digit eliminations, but that's not all. Here's your 17th through 32nd. Tons of players. We've seen Kayun putting out a good show, taking out a lot of big-name players, people you've seen all over the place in Summer Skirmish the prior 7 weeks. Even the last 3 days, and he's starting to assert some dominance. Punisher here starting 33rd, and all these players, it is terrifying to see the list names here. And you have to remember too, we've seen already multiple people in the grand finals drop 6 points in a single match. That means, I mean, the leader's at 8. Anybody can catch up. Anybody, nobody's safe. It's absolutely crazy.
$1.5 million on the line, 21st through 100th. All take home $5,000. So the top 20 obviously see that leap in prize money. That's going to be kind of our thing we look at. Another thing to keep in mind, a Victory Royale is $25,000. I saw Cypher actually tweet out and say, that was a $25,000 trap elimination. Yeah. And that's exactly what it was.
It's absolutely wild. Now we're just getting word in. There's actually an additional change on top of what Courage mentioned earlier. The anti-gravity zones being disabled. Are you strapped in?
Ladies and gentlemen, do we want another announcement? I think we could give another announcement to the folks at home. We are adding a 7th game to today now, so everything stands and we get even more Fortnite action. The day keeps on going. And the 7th game will also have the additional $25,000 prize for Victory Royale.
The insanity
of the stage keeps getting better and better. I'm loving this right now. I might miss my flight later. I don't even care. Let's keep having a good time.
3 games left now. We're going to roll into game 5 before too long here. But 3 games. That's, like you said, an additional $25,000. I think anybody that might have been confused, thrown off by the players flying through the air,
like we were.
I mean, you saw it on our faces. That was crazy. They get another shot. Game 7 is going to come up at the end of today. What a way to go out there and do, man.
I'm loving this, man. The storylines keep building. The interview with Aiden and Nick Merckx was hysterical.
It's a rivalry you love to see. Everybody here loves to see it too, right? Can we make some noise for these gentlemen?
They've been getting into it as well. It's been awesome to watch. Definitely becoming fan favorites. Players making a name for themselves. This is absolutely the biggest spectacle at PAX West this weekend. A fully at capacity Fortnite booth with the grand finals of the Summer Skirmish. Obviously, this is like just the beginning for Fortnite competition and what's to come. I can't wait for more announcements. Obviously, Season 6 right on the horizon. Everyone wondering what's happening with the Cube. You've got the new limited time mode coming out next week. High stakes, all the new skins. It's a darn good time to be a fan of Fortnite, I can tell you that much.
Jack, from one friend to another, if you don't put up a good grappler montage clip, literally the day that you get home and play, first game, literally first game, I'm going to remove you from my friends list. I'm sorry.
Well, all right. No.
I won't
Please
really.
don't do
I would never do that. Are you kidding me?
I'll yell at the end of it, and it'll be uploaded on all social media. So
of course, absolutely.
That's the only way you play
It's what you do.
Yeah, that's literally my job. We are getting into Game 5 here very, very soon. Appreciate your patience as we got all things sorted. As you can imagine, after last game, some people wanted to have some chats about exactly what occurred, but there's all our players now. They've been told there's a 7th game. There's another $25,000 up for grabs, the Victory Royale. Everyone loading on in, and Nick Merckx getting the headset ready as the crowd gets behind him. Top boy there on your screen.
Nate Hill right next to him. All these players, it's so many people to keep your eyes on. There are a number of players too that we've discussed multiple times that were stars for the qualifiers before this. We have not seen put up a big show per game yet. We've got 4 games down, 3 remaining though, which means it's still anybody's game.
Yeah,
we can see multiple 6-point games still, as we've already seen in the first 4 matches. We've seen some crazy plays, some really good shots from players, some predicting the way that other players are going to play, the movements they're going to make. I love seeing that kind of stuff come out.
Yep. And I believe we're going to get a quick reset on the lobby as one player wasn't connected, so we'll go ahead and get that all sorted before we hop into Game 5. A lot of people talking after that last game about everything that obviously went on. Hashtag Summer Skirmish online. Just crazy to see just how many people are watching this. I mean, you mentioned to me some figures of people who were tuned in the streams.
Over 700,000, I think, on Twitch alone, and that's not the only place it's being broadcast. It's incredible.
It's a lot of
absolutely
people.
Incredible.
That is a lot of people.
A few, yeah.
You know, for everyone during the break, one funny moment that happened was, if you missed it, I threw my card and actually hit wonderful lady.
Did not actually.
In the back of the head here. She's not suing me. I did give her a bunch of exclusive PAX codes for the spray in game, but funny moments like that. I think it was between the anti-gravity and that, we had a lot to talk about during that break, so it went by pretty quick.
It did indeed. And you have to remember, if you're here at PAX West, if you're in Seattle even, Jack might have mentioned earlier that it feels like the place is packed to the brim, but please, make your way on down here. We have 3 games left, and seriously, you don't want to miss a second of what's happened so far today. Fortnite they're setting the standard for events like this, and Summer Skirmish, I feel like, is only going to be the beginning of what's to come. I'm sure Epic has all sorts of shenanigans up their sleeve. The competitive scene is only getting started.
100%.
We've got all sorts of, like you said, we've got a new mode coming down the pipe here. This is only the beginning too. We've seen a trend from them even at events like this, like PAX and everything before this. We saw the Pro-Am at E3 was outside in a stadium.
Yep.
This is only the beginning. There's so much more to come.
No, for sure, and it gets me excited just to think about the future. Either way, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but to look back at our games so far, we mentioned how every break of these games, we can basically just wind up seeing exactly the same players playing. They're all landing at the same area for the most part. You know, we were looking at Aiden and Nick fighting in Tilted, Wyoming, as well as Sap fighting at the top of Viking Village, Hysteria getting into engagements down in Greasy. Now going into what's going to be the 5th game that these guys have played against each other, it's getting to a point where you can almost land and know, okay, this guy's going to push me from this area in the next 15, 20 seconds. This guy's going to be in this building. I'm wondering if we see any strategies change now to kind of make it so they can potentially get the drop on their opponent that lands near them in their drop zone.
Well, some of them, like you said, I mean, Aiden and Nick Merckx, we'll use as an example. It's been a highlight moment every single game thus far. And Aiden, the 3 of the 4 games so far, you see him on the screen right there. Very, very kind to each other in that little interview, but I'm sure Aiden is thinking, right now I own Tilted Towers. Yeah. Nick, I dare you to come back here. And that kind of confidence, that's going to help him. Whether it's accuracy or positioning, he's got, well, seemingly he's got it all so far. The window peaks, everything he's doing. He even at one point he said, "This has got to be a PC player that I'm playing against." And lo and behold, no, it's Nick Merckx, another one of the best controller players we've ever seen. And whether he's losing to Aiden, they're still they're fighting for that long. They're disengaging and re-engaging those choices. I think that establishes that win or lose in that 1v1. he's putting on a good show.
Yep.
He's very aware of what's going on. I mean, there's going to be an outplay from him soon.
I think that kind of sums up Tilted perfectly, right? Like there's so much already established building there that they're just navigating in and out of these corridors, using sound to their advantage, making sure they can kind of catch their opponents off guard, hide behind a wall, third-person perspective it. Either way, it shows just how much these guys land there. They've been the big talk of the town so far. Nate Murph's giving fist bumps to everyone around him. Definitely someone who likes to promote so much positivity in the community, which is great to see. The other big names here so far tonight, right now in that fourth spot we saw in the standings, is actually Liquid Coach. He's the highest in the standings right now who don't have a good so the three above him all have actually won a game. Landjock, who is our other player who's won, is lower on the standings, but Poach showing just how quality of a player he is, Lupo, to be that high up without having a victory yet.
Now, I'm looking forward to see players that dropped like 10 plus Tylers. I want to see them show up and play that aggressive gameplay that they've played in the past. There's a chance that maybe right now we've been through 4 games, and maybe before this they were playing a little the pressure all and the number of players that are around them that are extremely competitive. Players around them that drop is coming soon. Are you ready for game 5?
We go. Quick little break, a little reset. We've added another game. We've seen all sorts of stuff. Game 5 is the bus has taken off. Remember, each victory royale, $25,000 in the bank.
Fields, but pretty much everybody, like we've seen, consistent spread, not a whole lot of engagements, like not a whole lot of, there's no more than like 5 or 6 players in a single location, even less than that. Typically, Retail has a handful there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like at Tilted, 2 players laying on the south side there. This is back over the Fatal Field to see running around. Nate's going to try and get this. This is an outside of Fatal drop. Full shield, a good pickup early. He's got an AR, some bandages. Nothing, I was literally about to say, nothing up close. Picks up an SMG. A decent kit early. You'd want to look for a shotgun. But I'd like to point out, Jack, that the anti-grav shield, the bubble is there visually, but just so everybody's aware, the effect itself has been disabled, like we said. So don't worry about the fact that you can see the bubble. Again, it's not engaged right now.
Now I just want to go home and fly around the map.
I do. turn that into a thing.
Either way, here's Ranger, who's got a tactical shotgun and a rocket launcher. Interesting loadout off the break. I think he realizes that as well. When you have the rockets, it's so key to get that high ground established right away. Rockets so much more lethal when you can obviously shoot down onto your opponent with them. This is Saint, who continually lands near this Greasy Grove area. From my experience in previous summer skirmishes, no, he's been clingered. No, clingers do flat 100 damage, so thankfully the shields will save him, but he's got to try to disengage, and he only has 2 builds. This looks like it's going to be a disaster for him.
So he got potentially a little distracted by looking for Nice down underneath. Bowman took it. It was Bowman from the backside coming up from the south, chucked that clinger. But Bowman now focuses on Nice inside the building. Player 4 is into the match. Bowman very low here. He's tossing the remote explosives. Maybe take an opportunity to pop that med kit. You're not going to have another time to do it. Gets the mini, a faster use, so the mini is going to take priority. Wants to get any buffer he can. Tyler's in the feed, by the way, getting an elimination in there, but Bowman gets that mini use off. Crashy, the player pushing up here.
Oh, Nice dealing on the Bowman. Crashy's got to follow this up quick because, I mean, look at the health he has right now. 200 HP. That's his last build. He's got a great soft combination between that heavy shotgun and the drum gun, which still has a full clip, and there's all sorts of loot down below it.
Saint dropped the rocket inside of the building, explodes. Nice, so now this is from the outside, so Crashy may not realize it. That was Saint from up top on the hill. The player inside, he knows is gone now, but he's got to try and figure out where it came from. Saint sliding down for a little bit of fall damage there. This is Aiden back into the tower. Look at his first elimination. Catches Kairos off guard, both dropping on top of the big red apartment building. Comes away with a purple AR too, but it doesn't even matter. Look, he already has a gold AR inside of his chest, and the hope for shield. I think he just pulled it there before it away.
Interesting. This is probably the first game where Nick has actually reached max shield before Aiden. I think Aiden will catch up though here soon.
Ecstatic, the typical third party in Tilted. Here's your leaderboard for right now. Aiden is elimination. I think it's sorted by elimination count. Morgos, though, you see the score. This is your leaderboard sorted by score on the far right side. Morgos was at 8, Blind in second place is 6, Nate Hill, Aiden, Bizzle, and Saf rounding out that top 6.
Already 500 material. Such a
3 remote explosives. He's got a swap weapon, upgrades his shotgun.
And just for everyone at home, when we say swap weapon, we're talking about the submachine gun. So you can take the pump shotgun shot, and then because you fire the second shot, instead you swap to a spray weapon, whether it's an SMG, a drum gun. Some people even just use an assault rifle.
That's all you have. You know, you got to take the opportunity. The reason being, during that like cooldown period after you took a shot, you can see it. Swaps off, and now he's
tag
bang.
right there.
The FPS knowing exactly how to utilize that timing, basically the right amount of AR spray, and then swap back to the shotgun to try and go for another shot. Shotguns hit so hard up close. In these up close fights, every single point of damage matters. If he's accurate, he's in the right amount, he's the right range away before damage drop off takes over. The timing can be key. It can be kind of one shot and maybe you're the shotgun shot out.
The FPS is, instead of building himself, he's just going to reset to the high ground. And he's dodging these clingers, so it looks like he's kind of read his opponent perfectly. Alpha Amons just inside the build and brick. And look, he's shaking his head. You can see in that camera, frustrated with the position he's in right now. Not a lot of health, very exposed, and the FPS is maxed on HP. He's going to match the build right now. I think the end might be near for Alpha here soon.
Alpha pushing up, gets the top down on, trying to get the jump shotgun shot. FPS kind of layering away. He's got multiple layers there. Basically right at the perfect spot to lay a floor back up, and they'll step, lay another floor. So there's multiple wood platforms being Alpha Amons decided to go for it. He's trying to get the top down. He's got to hit big shots here. It's 100 HP, 100 shield on his opponent below him.
It's almost to the point where like Alpha has to hit like a snipe headshot or something. A ridiculous scenario he finds himself in. The FPS just rotating all around, bouncing. Looking for that perfect... It's also a thing where if you're... The FPS, if you're wondering why he's kind of playing this slow, yes, he doesn't have the high ground, but he almost doesn't want to take any damage either. Right? He knows he's got a heavy advantage, but he's looking to just get that perfect opportunity. Now might be his chance. It might just be time to spray this player down, shoot that top left structure, and it might all fall.
He's got it looks like there's 2 connected points. If he goes for it, which is exactly what he's going to do, he's got that the arch, the half arch is all that's holding it up, and here it comes. Alpha's got to drop down and save himself with a build. Lands on top of the building, just barely got down fast enough to not take any fall damage, but he's still basically one shot at this point. One pump shot is going to be all it takes. Push catches him in the corner, and there it is. First elimination for the FPS. An excellent set of plays there. Yep. Just the right time to push.
Here's another side of the map. Ripmate. Not much useful weaponry in his inventory. What?
An 82.
I take back everything I've ever said.
Catches Landjock, our first winner off guard there. Takata. Right here in shifty shafts, jump around trying to get the top down on his opponent, drops in and a big hit, 2 HP left. The crashing, he does have a med kit and mini, so he's still, you know, give him 20 seconds, he's back to 100.
No, he made with the drop the porta fort, and it actually spawned above him, so he wasn't safe. It's so key when using those porta forts, especially on uneven ground, that you jump as you activate it, so you land above the layer of the porta fort. Here's Aiden at only at 100 HP. Seems like he's been tagged up quite a little bit. Who's nearby? Nibs is nearby. Marksman's nearby. Ecstatic is here. No idea if Nick Merckx is still in this game or not. We'll have to get you guys an update on that.
Looked like he might have still been inside the big gray tower that he tends to. If it's anybody in there, it's going to be Nick. But once we can see that, we'll let you know. But this might be the busiest Tilted we've seen in quite a while. And this is the first time I think we've seen Aiden decided to back out. Maybe too many people. His loadout, though, no shield, not a whole lot of materials. But a gold AR, a gold heavy shotgun. Yep. He's going to try and hit a big deagle shot on this. The purple hand cannon. Top boy dropping down. Looks like he got a shot blue tee in the feed there.
He's got a revolver, as you know, from the most recent developer update. That'll soon be vaulted here in Fortnite, so pay a little homage to our soon-to-be lost friend. as Kriz is just going to run away from that fight. What is this end? What is this zone? What is this zone? Literally half of it is out of play. And that's a mountain right there too, Lupo. That's one of the tallest mountains in the game, right above Flush Factory.
You see somebody hanging out way north, way outside the zone.
Nick is still alive.
Nick is still alive.
Nibs is running out. Everyone's fanning on out of here. Nick's towers.
Nick, he's got to try and he just kind of needs to buy his time. He's got 55 seconds. He doesn't necessarily have to make it just yet, and he knows. Look, Ecstatic doing it literally what we saw him do last match for just a second, and he wasn't even moving, just standing still, trying to listen, wait for these players to kind of engage each other. He doesn't want to get involved in any of this. Leaderboard being high on his list of players wasn't in the slightest. Nick decided to get some shots. Might be time. Gonna drop some grenades in there, jumping for a single or a double. And he goes down. We still have 2 players in there. X looks like he eliminated. Grenades don't catch any damage. Looking for maybe even disadvantage under. Even if you're not on top of it, you'll see the number pop up when you get a hit.
Decision. I was about to say he's either going to move or he's got to push this. Nick Murphy run in. Here's a ton of shots going down. Expecting players to be weak. He wants to play this high ground. Sees one inside. Tag on the player. One up to his right. Double L's as well. Nick obviously doesn't know exactly where this is. There's a third player as well down here. Heavy Gorilla.
Shot off him. Looks like it was still shooting damage. He's going to know that his opponent still has some sort of defense there.
He has the weaponry for this. Between the drum gun and the pump shotgun. Rare pump shotgun, but he's going to go ahead and fall back for now.
He just ran out of explode ammo too, so he's got nothing left in that grenade launcher. Maybe 3 or 4 more explode ammo. He could have just kept dropping them in there, kind of exposed.
And I can tell you, Nick isn't happy with leaving Tilt at 0 lives. This is the first game where Hit and Aiden, I think both leave Tilt at 0.
Looks like southeast and going to the ramp. This ramp already built, so he didn't have to waste a whole lot of time. It's a good option for the better teams. You're gonna, in the future, if you plan on going for late game, you're gonna get caught up close next to somebody and have to most likely take advantage of turbo build. Try and keep a defense between you and your 770 growth, 130 metal, a ton of materials.
He's actually in a little build engagement with Mogoss, who, if you remember, is our first place player up to this point. Quick update on the actual eliminations this game. Animal, who's one of the 2 players this week with a 10+ elim game for the victory, actually has 4 elims so far, and still a ton of players left.
A handful of players still alive, too. We have Top Boy, Gorilla, Morgas, Rio, Strugs, Tokata, and Tylers, who are all sitting at 2 eliminations apiece, which means one more for each one of them is a point for this game. And every single point counts. It could be the difference between the 21st through 100 placement prize of 5,000. You got to remember, everybody comes away with 5,000 if they made it to the grand finals, which is huge. But a single point can push you up in the top 20, and that could be massive. A lasering Takata establishes his
Animal, who actually got that elim. That's now 5 for him. 2-point game for Animal.
Nibs Saf gets the FPS and the feed there.
Ooh, it's Nick Merckx out of the zone.
Literally immediately clapping here at PAX for Nick. Mars City's eliminated by the storm there in the feed, you see. It's kind of a stalemate here at the edge of the circle. Movement's going to have to happen before too long, and both of these players are established in their little box. They have 1:20. You have plenty of time to make a decision. Nick could drop his campfire too. This is Tyler's and Triz back in the bottom floor, tilted, hanging outside the zone, trying to just peek for that quick shot. And he gets Triz through the top window of that door.
He was so far into the zone still. Over to Rio now, spraying that LMG, swapping the Scar, and whoa, gets the 1 bullet to connect. That's all he needed. Knew he was weak.
And that's 3 eliminations for Rio, which gives him a point for this game.
And Asteria is still in this. And I can tell you, Asteria landing greasy. Been very happy to see the zone since we swapped off Nicky attacked. And look at E-Man, back-to-back limbs, but then Aiden actually cuts him down. So Aiden and Nick each now with a limb on the board.
Aiden actually has 2 right now, 1 away from picking up another point for the day. That'd be Aiden's 4th point. Rex is hanging out in the zone. There's a little box over there. The clingers. See the
those
clingers
are
flying over the top of it.
No help from his AR right there, not getting any connects. Gosh, I can tell you right now, Nick wishes he had some explodes left from his time in Tilted to be able to use. And that's a brilliant wall. That wall's going to block out the sight line of the player in that build just next to him, so you can put some pop shots down on this player who's trying to run away from the zone. Nick will have to move forward, and that's when this is going to get absolutely awkward for him. Expect the player up top to probably prioritize Nick here.
A couple of trees as natural cover, some structure that was built by somebody else, but I think he just saw it. Looks like there was like a window peak to southwest 240 up there. Somebody might have edited a hole out and try and take shots at him as he's rotating, and he covered himself.
This zone is absurd.
This is it. What would you say? Like 40% of it is over the water right now. This is Aiden's second elimination. Right on the coast right here. Cash is a player. It's Emad. We watched that just a second ago. We commented on Emad establishing a double there on
and so that was Emad who got a double, but then he eliminated Emad, meaning 3 players worth of loot was there. So now he's added a ton of materials, shields, and a legendary compact SMG to his inventory.
I don't think Aiden picks it up unless it's legendary at this point.
Apparently.
That kid is insane.
It's like everything that gets dropped in front of him upgrades out of the person's inventory.
Multiple players underneath and making quite a bit of noise.
Just eliminated his teammate Brandon.
Tempo going for a fast out of the side window there.
Aiden with another elimination. I believe that will put him at 3, right? Making him another game with another point. He's been so consistent with that so far today.
Kyan just got an elimination defeat, but Top Boy takes him out. We have players countering players, and this is all very much on the coast. Imagine somebody sliding down to try and be on the outside edge. We'll see, depending on this next circle. There's going to be time to move relatively soon. We got 5 seconds before this finishes. Flush Factory still has a ton. The top of the hill, like you said, one of the tallest hills in the game. There's going to be a lot of players with the top down, and here we go. Flush Factory has to move out. North side has to move out. All these players are looking at right now. It's time to move.
Here are those slingers. That was Crunch who got the pitch on the sap. This next zone, half of it is on one of the tallest mountains in the game. The other is on one of the lowest valleys. So high ground going to be everything here. Here comes a nice little build engagement. Cease dropping down the road. Explosive, but gets shot in the back. He tunnel visions on replays and pays the ultimate price.
C4 is still sitting up top, so you got to be careful that nobody else maybe notices that and shoots it if you're moving over the top of it. But Aiden here, very top corner, top of the map, edge of the map. He's looking for an edit down on his opponent.
He knows that this player has the double barrel. It's got a unique sound effect, which is so key to listen out for. Bolt Naga also has the Rift to go in his inventory. Maybe in a panic position. He could use that to actually, he might use that here to get the high ground on the top part of the mountain.
We'll put him basically all the way up there. They have to move in
30 seconds.
Bolt hiding underneath is the player we were just talking about. Aiden's going to keep watching for him and listening while engaging other players. This is basically taking 2 fights at once, and I think the idea is maybe you can pull an elim from at least one of them while somebody's rotating. Everybody's in front of him or underneath him at this point.
Yep.
So he knows he's not going to get caught off guard from the back. He's not going to get caught tunnel visioning from any of them. But the top of that hill, Courage, they have vision on literally everything.
This is Cease from earlier on. Saw Brandon building on up it. Wish the hunting rifle shot, but thankfully for him, Brandon gets quickly cut down, and then I think there was a second player here.
I believe that's Morgoss hiding underneath him. Earlier when he took the shot. Also, the same hunting rifle shot, just barely missing again. One of those is going to pay out, but he clips Morgoss on the rotation. Just over the build, too.
Here's Asteria, 0 elims so far. Nick Merckx just eliminated Tempo.
That puts Nick Merckx at 4 elims. That's at least 1 point. And one more elim to put him at 5. Asteria lasers down Aiden.
And look, Aiden got a little scared by that. Nick now at 4 elims. Has a point on the board. Nick's got a ton of family here this weekend. It's funny, keeping an eye on his dad every time Nick gets in a fight. I got eyes on him. And he's listening to Neo, actually. So, from Nick streams, they game a lot together. Neo's telling him every little bit that's going on, making sure he knows exactly where he stands. He got blessed by this next zone, too.
Nick, though, only 49 woods. He's got 4 builds total. It's a Cease from earlier who was just putting on an excellent show. But Nate, look at this hiding in the shadows up here and takes shots at Cease. The tunnel vision kind of caught Cease off guard there. Nate Hill took advantage of it. Nick Merckx, like I said, 4 limbs, 3 builds left right now.
He can stay hidden here for so long, though. I mean,
he's inside the safe zone.
Yep, like he's like a ghost. People are just not even thinking of being down here.
Hiding in shadow too. Players that even rotate past might not see him hiding. He's got. Oh, this is actually it's an excellent spot for him to be invisible on the rotation. See player. This might be the most spread we've seen the field for in quite a while.
I think a lot of it's the physicality of the mountain. Look at how awkward this is, trying to build on up. I love this camera shot right here. Great stuff production.
Sean was catching Kuros on the rotation up the stairs off guard, is hiding in like a little side chamber there. For Bizzle from Ghost Gaming to move up as well. A lot of these players, they're going to decide when to rotate, and it looks like more players are going earlier than we've seen in the past. Oftentimes we see a lot of players deciding to wait till the last second, but it's because, like you said, the verticality is deciding that right now you need to move, because not only do you have to build forward, you got to build up.
Unfortunately, you can't use your pickaxe to break down the entire mountain, so players have to move early. Ghost Bizzle doing just that, moving towards the zone. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes it into the zone and immediately just boxes on up. Yep, there you go. He's trying to make it close enough. Needs to get right around this corner, and now he's good. Time to box. Ooh, he does take a heavy amount of damage, though, before he's able to get the wall down.
Start building those chambers out of shots. Are coming out, though. Somebody's trying to challenge this little set of boxes he's building. He's still getting shot from the side.
And the reason they're even spraying him even more is his build auto-switched from brick to metal, which is a sign that he's out of brick, which makes you think if he's having to use metal now, he's probably very low on materials. Tfue still in this game as well, alongside Geomok.
Replays and Sinful caught at the bottom. This is going to be a fight to stay ahead of the storm and ahead of their opponent.
I feel like both of them are going to get eliminated right here.
So Nick Merckx sitting for them. Go maybe looking for his fifth right now, listening. He doesn't have any builds left, so he's chasing. He's going to spray the wall down and catches Rex inside his own box. That's 2 points for Nick Merckx. Top 20 left. He makes it to top 10. That's another point soon. He does have, and he's got a med kit.
That was a smart play from Nick. He goes to pick up the opponent's grenade launcher. He had 0 ammo in his grenade launcher, but Nick was hoping that if he picked up the other grenade launcher there, that there might have been some ammo still left in the clip. Unfortunately for him, there was none, but a sign of a smart player. As, oh my goodness, Hysteria, if he gets sneezed on right now, I think he's eliminated from this one. I think if Nick flexes his traps, Hysteria's character would get eliminated here.
Bizzle moving up, trying to get an advance spot up this hill. He doesn't want to get caught off guard outside the zone. You see he's already rotating towards the east side of the circle. He saw the fact that, yeah, that's the side he's going to have to go to. The next circle, it's a full movement. Everybody's got to relocate. You got to get ahead of the zone if you want to move and stay alive.
So like every time he pushes out and makes another one of those like little 1x1s, he's burning through 60 material, and he's only got 200 something left. So that's all going away quick. Struggs, someone we saw earlier on. We got an interview with him after he had a big performance earlier in the week. Here comes the zone move. Rio launch pads up to the high ground. Nick Merckx having to go bounce pad time as he's going to try to keep up with the zone. Oh, he's going all the way to the low ground with barely any builds left.
Nick's on 6 eliminations right now, by the way. One more would put him at 7. That's 3 points. He's got 2 points already from this game.
Rio in the fight. Sean trades out Battlelim. You see Struggs now down. Nate Hill still in this one as well. Nick Merckx with another elimination on Base Soldier. I think that puts Nick at 7 eliminations. 3-point game for Nick Merckx, as this is going to move him way up the scoreboard now. Another elimination from Nick. That's Tfue down. A statement game from Nick Merckx, and he's got medkits to use. Nick Merckx can win this game.
Heavy, super low HP. You've got a whole ton of players above him, and he's sitting pretty down at the bottom. He might have the ability to rotate along the edge of the storm. You see with the location on the minimap, it's going to carry all the way along the base, and he catches somebody on the way down. He's trying to go for materials. Elim number 9.
He needs these materials.
Every elimination from here on out is icing on the cake. He's going to push for.
He's got a little bit.
He's got 7 builds left.
Player's just inside. He doesn't realize he's to his left. Nick can only build 7 walls. He's already earned himself 4 points this game.
He's got to save those for moving up the hill. He can't waste too much of them right here. Luckily, he's got a little bit of defense here. Somebody already built wood. He's got to move up, though. He can't stay down on the bottom because he's about to be outside the zone. Now's the time, Nick. You got to move.
Oh, no.
Get inside. Get inside. Here we go.
He's in.
Solid play. Excellent job staying inside, but he's got players all over him.
No! Nick Merckx slides down the mountain. No builds left. It's over.
5 players left alive right now.
And 72 hours.
Mac. Top 5 situation.
Nate Hill already in a brilliant position. Spot 72 hours. That's a free limb, which gives him another point. Remember, if he makes it to the top 3, he earns another. Nate Hill, who is already in our top 5, might be making a move up the leaderboards, folks. 4 players left. He's got no builds, so he's got to use whatever he can for cover. Look at the height difference Mac is done. That's top 3, another point earned for our remaining players. Poves's got no builds left, so he's going to get dropped on down.
He's got a player right underneath him. Bolt all the way up top, looking down Nate Hill. This 1v1 situation. Nate Hill still left alive, and Bolt's got the top down on everybody. He might even have an opportunity. He's layering up. He's going for a heal off.
Drop, though. He might be able to fall down to that next level, but if Nate's able to heal on up a little bit, I'm not sure exactly what Nate has. He can maybe shoot him down.
Right now is the perfect time for him to just hang out up top. He's at 95, which means he can start the med kit before the zone closes all the way. He doesn't have to push for the elimination on Nate.
There's 5 seconds left. Nate's going to have to try to spray down whatever he can. Bolt Naga can build out one more structure. He's got 0 elims this game. He's been playing for the Victory Royale. He's got a medkit he can heal with.
You see he's about to position himself on the line, the seam between the two.
Nate's got to keep spraying. Nate has to keep spraying. He cannot let this go to a heal off. He knows it as well. He's got to keep spraying. Nate, the game potentially slipping out of his hands. He needs to keep spraying the structure above. Nope, he's not going to be able to out-heal him. This one's done. He's not going to be able to out-heal. He does not have a med kit. This should be a heal-off in favor of Bolt Naga. It's going to come down to the wire. Nate spraying, doing whatever he can, but it's not enough.
0 eliminations, by the way, with the Victory Royale.
$25,000
richer.
God, that's a YouTube clickbait.
He plays smarter than anybody else. Waited until the very last second, got the heal off. See Nate a little disappointed in the fact that he got caught off guard. No builds left. Was enough for Bolt to secure just the platform he was standing on and get himself.
That's the name of the game right there.
Oh, yeah.
It's a BR. Victory Royale is something everyone wants to achieve. That's 3 points, 0 limbs. Opportunity, and it was awkward because the metal was just starting to build as he was trying to heal from that last fight. But once that metal finishes from net range to the damage ball, I mean, it takes so much to break through that structure.
Now, that, I believe, is Nate's second place on the day so far in these grand finals. But we should still feel good about it. I believe it's 7 points total for him, which, if my calculations are correct, is 2nd place, which is insanity. And he still has 2 games left. We got game 6 and the surprise game 7 coming at you right after that.
I think we got some replays to look at as we get ready for the next lobby to start on up. Nick Merckx, big game from him. Got the 7 elims he needed. I believe he finished with 8.
He did indeed, and that's 3 points. Didn't make it, I believe, there was actually, he did get top 10, so 4 points total from this game.
Yep.
See, the perfect time, catches Lene pushing up the ramp.